Support for LA64 is provided by Office of the Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, Keep Louisiana Beautiful, and the Louisiana Office of Tourism.
I'm Karen LeBlanc, a travel journalist and Louisiana native. Join me on LA64, a journey through all 64 parishes, exploring Louisiana's less traveled paths.
Hi everyone, I'm Charlie Wyndham, excited to be joining you today alongside Karen LeBlanc, producer, writer, and host of LA64, LPB's new travel series that is inviting viewers to discover all 64 of Louisiana's parishes. Get ready, because what you are about to see are highlights from the first 4 parishes on what will be a 5-year adventure to all corners of our beautiful state.
That is right, Charlie. In this broadcast special, I'll take you to the giant omelet celebration in Vermillion Parish and the site of a certified miracle in St. Landry Parish, and then on to no man's land in Sabine Parish. We'll visit both Gatortown and Grand Isle in Jefferson Parish, so lots of interesting people and places.
I can't wait. All of you are going to be sure to discover something new about Louisiana and what makes our state so special.
All right, so first up is Vermillion Parish. Enjoy the tour, everyone, and the giant omelet.
Vermillion Parish lies in south central Louisiana, exploring the people and places that define one of the most culturally rich corners of the state. Here's a bird's eye view of 5,000 eggs, scrambled in a skillet by chefs holding 8-foot wooden paddles. Have I piqued your curiosity with the egg aerial? Then join me at the annual Abbeville Giant Omelet Celebration, held the first weekend in November. It's one of Vermillion Parish's claims to fame. The day begins with a Mass at St. Mary Magdalene, the cornerstone of the town founded by a Catholic priest in 1850.
Now, I was invited to attend this blessing of the eggs. I'm not quite sure what to expect, but I'm told that it ties back to the omelet festival's origins in France, where the town cooked an omelet on Easter Monday.
The Abbeville Confrérie, which belongs to the World Brotherhood of the Knights of the Giant Easter Omelet, let's call them the omelet nobility, enters the church carrying baskets of eggs and rings of bread for the priests to bless in French and English. Abbeville is the only U.S. city to host a sister celebration to the Omelette Festival in Bessières, France. In 1984, it joined the Confrérie, becoming the official American counterpart to the French tradition. After the Mass, omelet knights known as chevaliers pose for pictures, and then they head to the giant skillet to light the wood fire and prep the ingredients. Crowds spill into the streets around the town square, some dancing to live Cajun music and others browsing booths filled with arts, crafts, local foods, and the must-have festival t-shirt. When members of the Confrérie began cracking eggs and slicing French bread, people lined both sides of the giant skillet to watch the action unfold. And of course, there is more dancing. Knighted members are identifiable by the chef's hat and a large skillet they wear around their necks. Abbeville gives its omelet a Cajun twist with 15 pounds of local crawfish and a generous splash of Tabasco, ceremoniously added by the Tabasco girls, a coveted honor. As each ingredient hits the skillet, volunteers circulate signs so the crowd can follow the recipe. After the official tasting and a thumbs up, it's allons manger, French for let's eat. The whole process takes about 2 hours, as this time-lapse shows. Now, what impressed me most was how efficient and well-organized the entire operation is.
Allons manger, as they say in these parts, or
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Either way, delicious. Well done.
Thank you.
The imprint of Sicilian families who settled here in the late 1800s is evident in places such as this 1913 blacksmith shop owned by Sicilian immigrant Sam Garino. Today, it's a museum opened by appointment and fully operational thanks to this guy, Brandon Briggs. He learned the skill of blacksmithing at the shop, and today he maintains the museum and gives demonstrations.
Before they had this electric motor, they started out with a Model T engine powering up. They had rigged it up to power up this one thing, and everything ran by that one piece of equipment. So you want to power it up and see how it works?
Let's see it in action.
Okay, let's see.
The gears and pulley belts power everything. The drill, sharpeners, the bandsaw. Brandon shows me how he heats and shapes the metal and how the blacksmiths made much in-demand nutria fur stretchers for local trappers.
Blacksmithing is a process of taking raw materials and heating, bending, beating, stretching, all the different processes of working metal. I mean, that's the trade of a blacksmith.
Sam Garino founded the blacksmith shop after he apprenticed in Sicily. For decades, he repaired and forged the region's agricultural tools. After Sam died in 1979, the blacksmith shop remained operational until closing in 2004. The Garino family donated it to Abbeville to turn into a museum.
We moved it here, and the city workers shoveled up 4 inches of the dirt. So this is the original dirt that was in the building for all those years from the early 1900s till now.
So this dirt holds a lot of history and probably a lot of soot.
It's got a lot of construction that went on in here. A lot of work. There was oil field work, there was agricultural work that came here. And if you needed anything repaired, Mr. Garino would say, if I can't fix it, it can't be made.
I love the accent.
Every small town here has a story. You just have to slow down long enough to hear it. And it's music. In Vermillion Parish, that would be swamp pop, a blend of Cajun soul and early rock and roll.
One of Abbeville's claims to fame is the birthplace of the poet laureate of swamp pop, Robert Charles Guidry, known to the rest of the world as Bobby Charles. His music influence lives on today and often takes the stage here at the Richard Sale Barn. It's a former cattle auction house turned musical venue that attracts local legends and Grammy-nominated artists.
Owners Johnny and Kathy Richard say you can smell the culture at this livestock auction barn they converted into a live music venue.
When we put this building on the historical registry in 1996, it was because we could see the vanishing of these kinds of buildings. You know, many stockyards now are made out of metal, and they are a whole different realm. And so we knew that preserving this building was very important.
Wooden bleachers circle the stage built on top the livestock ring. The barn's wooden structure provides pitch-perfect acoustics and an intimate setting that attracts Grammy winners and musical greats who autograph the walls after performing.
Hi, my name is Michael Juan Nunez. Welcome to the Sale Barn in beautiful Abbeville, Louisiana.
The musicians like to come here. Once they come here once and they see that it's not like a bar, people aren't talking over their music and smoking cigarettes. The audience is attentively listening and watching the musicians.
The couple established the nonprofit Le Bayou Légendaire, which owns and operates Richard Sale Barn and holds spring and fall concerts.
Shop, stay and play, and explore with LA64.
Next, I head west on Highway 14 to Kaplan for a work, play, stay experience at Crawfish Haven Mrs. Rose's Bed and Breakfast. Crawfish farmer Barry Toops owns and operates this cozy retreat where overnight guests can go crawfishing on his 40 acres of crawfish ponds.
Now, it's November, so it's early in the season, but hey, we're gonna get some big ones and boil them up later.
Barry shows me how to pull the crawfish cages and sort the crawfish. The smaller ones fall through the grate, and the larger ones I push into the sack to eat. After a few minutes, we get a rhythm going as Barry drives the boat with his feet. Cajun ingenuity, he says, which allows him to navigate the water and land hands-free to pull up the cages. The crawfish crawl into the cage, but they can't figure out how to get out. They feed on the rice that Barry planted, and sometimes predators feed on them.
We found a little turtle. He was in one of the crawfish cages, and he's cute and all, but Barry says turtles are predators. They like to eat crawfish. So we're gonna put this little guy back into the water. Off you go.
You've got to be alert and quick with crawfishing. Spot the cage, pull it, dump it, sort, and be on the lookout for the next one, while avoiding the crawfish claw pinch. I had a few ouchies during our crawfish haul.
Ow! Little sucker.
After pulling 140 cages, we head back to the house to weigh in our catch.
How many pounds did we catch?
You got to guess the weight.
Okay. I'm gonna say 15 pounds.
That's a great guess.
All right, Barry, the moment of truth.
Yep.
How do we do?
We got 14 pounds.
14 pounds.
I was close, aiming for 5 pounds of crawfish per person for our crew of 3. Barry says that Cajuns are the #1 predators of crawfish, which means it's time for a crawfish boil. We clean, season, and boil our crawdads with a hearty serving of corn and potatoes.
Barry, the big payoff for all our hard work. And for me, a first of my lifetime, I am having crawfish before Thanksgiving.
Locals like to say the 337 area code is home to the best cooks in Louisiana, and they have the credentials and customers to back it up. If you ask anyone where to find the best turtle sauce piquant, they'll point you straight to Sweer's grocery store and restaurant in Kaplan.
When the menu is spray painted on the facade, you know you're somewhere totally authentic and unpretentious. Welcome to Sweer's. It's a grocery and restaurant. It's family owned and it's legendary in these parts. I'm in Kaplan in Vermillion Parish, and this place is a favorite with foodies and with hunters, and you are about to discover why.
Sweer's opens at 5:30 a.m. and serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner from sunup to sundown. Behind the counter on any given day, you'll find the Sweer sisters. Joan and Lisa took over Sweer's from their parents who bought the store in 1976. Their mother quickly realized that serving family recipes was good business and cleared out a few shelves to make room for tables, creating the restaurant that customers know. Today, Joan handles the business side while Lisa, a talented cook, runs the kitchen with a small staff.
Something is baked every day, every single day. All family recipes.
Family photos, newspaper clippings, and famous faces line the walls, along with a payphone that still hangs in the corner. A reminder that this place is suspended in time and grounded in legacy.
And somebody will just come and just say, that was just like my grandmother's. That is the best compliment to me that I ever can get. Or this place feels like home, or my grandmother's home, or we just love that they feel at home. One turtle at the window.
I wasn't leaving Sweer's without their legendary turtle sauce piquant. Now, Lisa cooks it every Friday, and it is a total labor of love. She cooks the turtle meat 4 hours.
While exploring Vermillion Parish, I stayed at Palmetto Island State Park along the Vermillion River, where a boardwalk leads to my cabin overlooking the water complete with a screened-in porch and a deck for grilling.
I'm gonna take the canoe out and get some fresh air, some exercise, and be at one with the beauty all around me.
I paddle and admire the fall leaves turning amber, orange, yellow, and red along the waterway. An aerial view reveals the full palette along the river's winding path through the forest. Here's my takeaway from visiting Vermillion Parish. Its communities and small towns are detours worth taking. Along the way, I discovered it's not where the road leads, but who you meet. The storytellers, musicians, cooks, and culture keepers who make Vermillion Parish the most Cajun place on earth.
Wow, now I want to go back to Vermillion Parish. Thank you for such a great tour, Karen.
Yeah, well, that's the reaction we want with LA64. And of course, it's my pleasure, Charlie. And I hope these stories will inspire all of you watching to take a road trip to discover these and other historical and cultural treasures found right here in our own backyard.
No doubt about it. Now, where are we going next?
Well, next, we are headed to a place where I spent much of my childhood at my mama's house, St. Landry Parish.
You can't beat Momo's house. That sounds wonderful. And I love Acadiana, home to so much creativity. So let's see where we should go when we travel there.
St. Landry Parish sits in south central Louisiana, right in the heart of Acadiana, with Opelousas as the parish seat. Washington's vintage water tower announces a steamboat port town still echoing with 18th century life. The town was established in 1720 when geography, timing, and trade all lined up in its favor. About 80% of the town's structures are listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Washington's Town Hall anchors the heart of the historic district, surrounded by more than 200 preserved properties. This is a place that invites you to slow down, stroll the streets, and ponder the past.
We have some of the homes and some of the buildings that were here since steamboat days. There's a slip in the levee, and it's still here, that the steamboats would come into the slip and back up and turn around and go back up the river. And at 6 o'clock in the evening, the steamboat whistle blows, and it's a 3-chime steamboat whistle, an authentic whistle that used to blow during the 17 and 1800s.
Locals say Washington is Louisiana's third oldest settlement, backed by nearly 3 centuries of history visible in its streets and buildings. I met up with Hallie Carell, who's helping promote Washington's historic charm with guidance from the Louisiana Main Street program.
Let's start in the 1720s. Washington was founded as a French trading post. We had French trappers who came here. They followed the bayous here, and they would trade with the Native Americans. That was the Attakapaws here. This is where they start their settlement in the 1720s. So a few years later, we get our Spanish land grant, and that goes to Jacques Catawba. Jacques Catawba essentially settled Washington in the early to mid 1700s.
I stopped to chat with historic homeowner Stephanie Tompkins. Her street is lined with houses once owned by steamboat captains.
The home was built circa 1840 by a man named Nathaniel Offutt. He and his brother owned much acreage in this parish and also in 2 other parishes. We have these homes, and they're original homes. It's not like Williamsburg that most of them are reproductions. These are original homes. So it's important to preserve them.
La Maison Coton Jean is a culture keeper of brown cotton, a working studio opened by appointment where you can meet the growers, spinners, and weavers who promote and preserve the fiber Cajuns call Coton Jean. It grows naturally tawny brown, and for generations, Cajuns used it for everyday textiles, including clothing and bedding.
Our vision for the future is to really take Acadian brown cotton into the 21st century, and by that I mean fabulous design. We're hoping to reproduce from the old, from the heritage into the 21st century, and we're trying to bring all of this production right here into Southwest Louisiana, and that includes getting our own micro mill so that we can do our own spinning.
Acadians were working with brown cotton in the mid-1700s, soon after exile pushed them from Nova Scotia into a new life in southwest Louisiana. Cajun settlers could separate the smooth seeds by hand at home, which made it a practical household crop to spin and weave. Aletha Shannon is a fiber artist from Monroe, Louisiana, who spins yarn and weaves it into garments.
So I am hand spinning some Acadian brown cotton into yarn. It starts as this is a milled product from the cotton, so it's all nice and smooth and ready to turn into yarn. And I use my spinning wheel to twist it. And the twisting and the kind of like drawing back that I'm doing is what makes the yarn.
Mothers and grandmothers passed down the skills of carding, spinning, and weaving, and they passed down the seed itself as a family heirloom you could plant. Suzanne Bro is a fifth-generation Acadian from South Louisiana. She's been weaving since the age of 12.
The skill of weaving is basically just being aware of tension and just picking your colors. And the skill is really more in designing the warp and knowing how you want your design to come out. I'm at the end of my warp. That could be an expression, right? And I would like to cut this warp off the loom for you and spread it out. And you'll see 8 yards of woven fabric.
The Acadian Brown Cotton House sells merchandise made by the spinners and the weavers. Acadian Fiber Shed operates the home and leads the revival of seed preservation, responsible cultivation, and a traceable local supply chain.
This is really a point of pride. This is something that every Cajun can be proud of, and to be a part of telling that story and to provide that to the community is really, it's a wonderful thing.
Saturday mornings at Savoy Music Center in Eunice bring together Cajun musicians carrying fiddles, accordions, guitars, and teefers who come for boudin, conversation, and an impromptu concert. Mark Savoy founded the music store in 1966 and has been hosting these Saturday morning jams for 60 years and counting.
It's all a bunch of very old songs, and I don't like a big professional show. Just people playing music from the heart. For that reason, there's no admission. It's just down home. And I think people are searching for that today because there's so much fake music out there. The fun part about it too is, like as Adam says, is very inclusive.
Mark's entire family shows up to play. His wife Ann and 4 children are all talented musicians. For years, they performed as the Savoy Family Band, touring worldwide.
It has been a community gathering place for all the greatest Cajun musicians and Zydeco musicians. Every kind of musician has been coming here in the past. The oldest ones that formed Cajun music would come here, and we got to experience that and play it. Listen to them and learn to play from them.
Mark invites me to his workshop in the back of the store where he handcrafts Cajun accordions. Each one is proudly stamped Louisiana made and played around the world. From the moment I rang the check-in bell at Hotel Klaus, I felt like I'd stepped straight into Washington's golden age. The pastel green and yellow building on Carrier Street once served as a general store and home. Owner Stephen Ortego, an architect and developer, restored the 1870s Klaus Mercantile and reimagined it as a 9-room boutique hotel.
So we did a lot of extensive research on the building and found out that it was built not long after the Civil War by some Jewish merchants who moved here from Prussia, the Plonsky family. And then Max Klaus came over, probably arrived here on a steamboat. And then he and his wife had 9 children, and 3 of their daughters ran the store all the way up until the mid-60s, 1960s. There definitely is a movement here in Washington, a reinvestment, sort of standing up tall and moving forward and making sure we preserve history here.
Exploring St. Landry Parish takes me straight back to my childhood. Weekends at my mama's house in Melville on the west bank of the Atchafalaya River. For me, this journey was a homecoming, a reminder that Louisiana's richness is in its everyday people, carrying traditions forward, stitch by stitch, song by song. A place where you can still hear the steamboat whistle each evening because history deserves to be heard.
Welcome again into the LPB studios, everyone. I'm Charlie Winham, and you are watching highlights from the first 4 episodes of the new LPB series, LA64, produced and hosted by my friend, award-winning travel journalist and fellow LPB alum, Karen LeBlanc.
Hi.
How are you?
It's so great to be with you today.
Always great. It's a real treat. And Karen is celebrating our great state.
Yes, I am. And it is such an honor and a privilege, Charlie, and a lifelong dream. And honestly, I'm kind of continuing the legacy that you started, right, with Lost Louisiana and the travel programs that you started back when you were here at LPB. And with our 50th year of celebrating stories, I mean, what better time to launch this series where we're all over the state.
Exactly.
So as I said, this is a dream of mine to share with Louisiana how amazing, to share with the world how amazing Louisiana's people and cultural traditions are. And this is what first inspired my love of storytelling. And I have to tell you, as I said, you inspired me too, and this is just a continuation. And I'm sure that viewers remember Lost Louisiana and Louisiana Travels, plus all the stories that you shared each week on Louisiana, the state we're in.
Oh, thank you, Karen. We're a couple of lucky folks. We get to tell stories about Louisiana to the world, and it's one of the great privileges you can have. We have a lot in common, and we also have a lot in common. We love LPB as well, and we'd love for you to support as well. And right now, we're going to tell you more about this new series. It's unlike any other LPB series that is taking us to every parish. That's how many? 64.
That's true. I also really want to thank the Lieutenant Governor, Billy Nungesser, his office, your staff, people like you, of course, for supporting this very important work of traveling the state and shining the light on culture keepers and motivating our own people to get out and explore their own state, what's literally in their own backyard. And also, of course, we want to thank viewers like you.
And that's who we need to hear from. Now, it's a gift that we are here to give you, and it's also some gifts that we want to also share if you become a part of LPB's family. Now, help us travel to your parish as well as show your applause for the stories that you are watching in this broadcast. You can do that when you give us a call right now at 888-769-5000. Make your pledge online at lpb.org. or scan the QR code on your screen. Not only will you be rewarded with the next episodes and seasons of LA64, but this is the only place where you can receive exclusive LPB and LA64 gifts and thanks for your membership during this broadcast. So, hey, let's take a look right now.
Viewers like you make the difference. Become a member to support the Louisiana stories you love on LPB. For a sustaining membership of $24 a month, receive the LA64 travel combo that includes the LPB Weekender Tote, the LA64 luggage tag, and an LPB thermos. For $15 a month, choose the LPB Weekender Tote made of durable cotton canvas perfect for any Louisiana road trip, and the LA64 luggage tag. For $10 a month, receive the LPB Travel Thermos made of insulated stainless steel. At any level, you will also receive Visions, LPB's monthly program guide, and LPB Passport for the very best of PBS and LPB.
You are watching LA64. The journey begins with the host, award-winning travel journalist, Karen LeBlanc. And I'm curious, how did you even begin the process, and how did you even say, well, we're going to start here?
That was was really tough, Charlie. And I'll tell you, it started because cameras began rolling at the beginning of November, which happened to be when Abbeville hosts its annual Omelet Festival. And this is a must-see experience event for any Louisianian. There's nothing like it in the rest of the nation. They're the only U.S. sister city that hosts this event, and it is such a sight to see. 5,000 eggs cooked on a giant skillet in downtown Abbeville, and we were able to get these incredible aerial views with the drone to really put into perspective the monumental undertaking and the cultural love and bond that Abbeville has with its French brethren, you know, these French-speaking countries. It's like a fun cultural exchange for adults.
The Louisiana Cultural Exchange never ends, and Karen's program is only accenting just exactly, not just in one town, one part of the state, every parish, all 64 parishes, and what I want to really compliment you on how you capture getting with the people, getting the true flavor of an omelet festival. It just was so much. There's so much to showcase, and really it's the joie de vivre.
You know, Charlie, for me, LA64 is my love letter to Louisiana, and it's never been done before. We've never had a travel show that's featured each parish. 64 parishes, each parish gets its own episode. And when I say parish, I don't just go to a city or a town. I am all over the parish, and when we film, we're spending at least a week in each parish. You know, cities and villages, towns, rural communities, all of these places, many of which kind of fly under the radar, underappreciated, but with amazing stories to tell and fascinating culture keepers and memory keepers.
I want to let all our viewers know this is the Friends of LPB Board of Directors Member Challenge. They are honored to support LA64 in honor of also LPB's 50th anniversary. So right now they will match the first dollar for dollar, the first $1,500, which essentially makes your pledge twice as much for Louisiana Public Broadcasting. So we need to hear from you right now. We're going to show you some fantastic thank you gifts you can get.
Viewers like you make the difference. Become a member to support the Louisiana stories you love on LPB. For a sustaining membership of $24 a month, receive the LA64 travel combo that includes the LPB Weekender Tote, the LA64 luggage tag, and an LPB thermos. For $15 a month, choose the LPB Weekender Tote made of durable cotton canvas, perfect for any Louisiana road trip, and the LA64 luggage tag. For $10 a month, receive the LPB Travel Thermos made of insulated stainless steel. At any level, you will also receive Visions, LPB's monthly program guide, and LPB Passport for the very best of PBS and LPB.
Karen, one of the things I didn't have the luxury of taking advantage of was drone photography. The drone photography in this series is exceptional, to say the least.
Thank you. So that's Ryan Hamilton. He's our filmmaker, and he and I have worked together many, many years on another travel show. He is a certified, talented drone pilot, and getting this aerial footage of Louisiana really shows you the beauty and the topography and how the land shapes the history and heritage. North Louisiana, the rolling pine hills, and the Toledo Bend Reservoir, and then, you know, the flatlands, the Acadian prairie. Every part of the state has its own beauty that really can be appreciated from the air.
And his artistry is on display in every episode of LA64. We are about to head to Sabine Parish next.
Yes,
That's
no
be some
man's land.
Absolutely. And before we do that, take a look at another look at our thank you gifts. We need to hear from you right now, and we both thank you so much for your support to LPB.
Viewers like you make the difference. Become a member to support the Louisiana stories you love on LPB. For a sustaining membership of $24 a month, receive the LA64 travel combo that includes the LPB Weekender Tote, the LA64 luggage tag, and an LPB thermos. For $15 a month, choose the LPB Weekender Tote made of durable cotton canvas, perfect for any Louisiana road trip, and the LA64 luggage tag. For $10 a month, receive the LPB Travel Thermos made of insulated stainless steel. At any level, you will also receive Visions, LPB's monthly program guide, and LPB Passport for the very best of PBS and LPB.
Sabine Parish sits on Louisiana's western edge bordering Texas. Sabine Parish was Louisiana's version of the Wild West, where explorers, settlers, tribes, and outlaws shaped Louisiana's western frontier. I timed my visit during the Sabine Free State Festival, an annual event in Florine that celebrates the region's origins as no man's land.
Step into the Sabine Saloon. The year, 1806. The land is lawless, and a rowdy bunch of outlaws have gathered for a high noon shootout.
From 1806 to 1821, Spain and the United States could not agree on a border between Texas, then Spanish territory, and Louisiana. So they created a buffer zone with no formal government, no law enforcement, and no taxes. This boundary dispute created a 17-year frontier free-for-all known as No Man's Land. It was a 34-mile wide strip of land east of the Sabine River that attracted outlaws and settlers.
Without oral storytelling, those would be lost for generations. So I'm really glad that our past ancestors decided in 1980 that this was something that really needed to be promoted and taught, because it's something that we wouldn't know about. It's left out of the history books.
Los Adayas once served as the capital of Spanish Texas, connected to western Louisiana by El Camino Real, the 2,580-mile Kings Road that stretched from Mexico City to Natchitoches through No Man's Land. Soldiers, missionaries, indigenous families, and early settlers all traveled this route, which today follows much of Highway 6 and is marked as the El Camino Real National Historic Trail. It was a true cultural crossroads where Caddo, Choctaw, and Apache peoples met French, Spanish, and Anglo settlers, each shaping the region's identity.
My ancestors came back in with Spanish soldiers at Port Los Adayas, intermarried in with the Choctaw and Apache Indians that were taking refuge at Port Los Adayas. And I'm a member of the Choctaw tribe, and I'm standing up for veterans for the last 250 years.
The Sabine Free State Festival kicks off with a parade, a wagon train, and a bevy of local beauty queens rolling down the road. It feels like stepping into a living frontier town where the air fills with the scent of cane syrup bubbling, meat smoking, and, of course, gun smoke. Artisans craft fiddles, ceramics, spin yarn, and demonstrate the skills passed down through generations.
Well, I'm good and thirsty.
Well, hello, we're to your saloon.
Pour me a stiff one. What are you serving?
Ice cold sarsaparilla.
All right. Bottoms up.
You can duck into the Sabine Saloon for the festival's famous root beer before heading back outside to catch the Wild West shootout, a reenactment staged several times throughout the weekend that draws a crowd.
Y'all are not helping me at all.
To bring law and order to No Man's Land, Fort Jessup was established in 1822, and the soldiers here patrolled the area, arresting bad actors breaking the law, and they put them in jail here on the property. Oh wait, there weren't any laws. People doing bad things.
People who are coming here purposefully because they know it's confusing and they know it's very hard for the area to be policed. So they're like, we're going to come and commit crime because we're probably going to get away with it. And then you have people who are coming here who think, oh, we're moving here to start a better life.
One of the fort's most famous commanders was Zachary Taylor, who later became the 12th President of the United States.
At our height, we had over 1,500 soldiers permanently stationed here.
Today, Fort Jessup is a state park. It occupies 22 acres. All of the original structures, except for the kitchen, were destroyed in a fire.
You can still smell the smoke from the last meal cooked.
Yes, you can. We actually still can use this, as we said earlier. It's fully functional. We do cooking programs for some of our reenactments.
A replica of the fort's officer quarters houses a museum that chronicles life at Fort Jessup and the surrounding community. The fort closed in 1846 with the United States annexation of Texas, negating the military's mission to patrol no man's land. Around the parish, painted bass sculptures, local art, celebrate Toledo Bend's world-class fishing. Toledo Bend Reservoir, the largest man-made lake in the South, opened in 1969 after the Sabine River was dammed. It now anchors a network of parks, golf and fishing resorts, marinas, and scenic overlooks, including 2 Louisiana state parks. The lake transformed this once hilly, sparsely populated corner of western Louisiana into a major destination for boaters and anglers.
Well, hello there, Karen.
Hi, Pete.
Come right in. My pleasure.
So you are the memory keeper, folks say around here.
Well, you live long enough, you get to be the one. This was originally my boyhood home. I was born here in this house.
Pete Abington turned his childhood home into his business office. The walls tell his life story, filled with photos of politicians that he helped elect, sports memorabilia, and mementos from his pivotal role promoting the construction of Toledo Bend Lake.
The lake now, in the last 25 years, it's gotten real popular. But I was on the ground crew when it was just a dream.
Highway 6 crosses the Toledo Bend Reservoir into Texas, offering sweeping views of the spillway. The reservoir stretches roughly 65 miles along the Sabine River, straddling both states. Its creation required flooding vast tracts of forest, farmland, river bottom communities, and tribal lands.
Now, to get it passed, we had to get the governor to get behind it. And the governor was Jimmy Davis. And that was a master stroke there, because they got a big old gallon jug of Sabine River water, and Jimmy Davis met a delegation from him, which I wasn't there then. I was doing something else. But he met them there on the bank in Mississippi, and when they handed it to him, it said on the front of that gallon jug, "Let's build Toledo Bend Lake." So we had the governor committed with "Let's build Toledo Bend Lake."
Very clever product
Oh,
placement.
yeah. And then it had to go before the Senate and the House, and they approved it. But they had it all figured out how it was going to be financed. And it was financed through the Confederate Memorial Fund. And there was some money set aside for the Confederacy that we could get, and we could use that to build this lake. I mean, everybody they weren't for building that lake, and they certainly wasn't for the water taking their home or their graveyard. But it was uncomfortable for them because they were to be bought out by the state and have to move.
I stayed at 2 state parks, both set on the banks of the reservoir. South Toledo Bend State Park near Manny sits on bluffs overlooking the lake's southern reaches. I stayed in one of 19 cabins with water views and amenities that rival many vacation home rentals.
In the mornings, I sit here in my cabin screened-in porch and take in the peaceful waterfront view. You can hear the leaves rustling, and it is a beautiful time in Sabine Parish. It's early November, and the leaves are changing colors. You can see all of that around you because the cabins are nestled in these wooded areas on the waterfront. And you can hear the birds chirping and see the waterfowl. It's just a glorious way to greet the day.
I head out to explore the park's hiking trails. The state park is a bald eagle nesting ground, and along some of the nature trails, perhaps you'll spot a bald eagle. And the reason for this is because the park is around the Toledo Bend Reservoir, and the eagles love to hunt the fish in the reservoir. Let's go check it out. Bring your binoculars. The Park Visitor Center offers this panoramic view of the Toledo Bend Reservoir. It's windy today, so if you look out in the water, you can see the whitecaps. North Toledo Bend State Park sits near the town of Zwolle, and it's a prime spot for bass fishing. The state park spans 900 acres, offering camping, hiking, swimming, boating, fishing, and water sports. It is a cool, crisp morning here at North Toledo Bend State Park, so I made a fire in my fire pit, which is right outside my cabin. And these cabins are adorable. They're log cabins. They have so much character. Because it's cool outside, I think today I'm not going out on the water. So no kayaking, no canoeing for me, but I am gonna take a hike, get some exercise. Along my hike on the Dogwood Nature Trail, I spotted Bigfoot. Actually, it's a replica, but seriously, Bigfoot folklore is big in these parts. Every year, Bigfoot believers gather nearby at Wildwood Resort in Zwolle for an annual Bigfoot symposium to swap sightings and share theories about the hairy being. After my hike, I sat down with my new friend Chooch LaRue, whom I first met at the Choctaw Apache powwow in Ebarb to talk about what Toledo Bend really cost this community. His ancestors lived for generations in the river bottom along the Sabine River, only to lose their homes, their land, and pieces of their identity when the bottomlands were flooded to create the reservoir.
My name is Kenneth LaRue. That's my real name. Everybody down here calls me Chooch LaRue. I'm an elder with the Choctaw Apache tribe of Ebarb. We've been living here forever. I was born here, right behind us, the lake. That is my home. My original home is underwater today.
Chooch lived on the river bottom with generations of his extended family who survived off the land as trappers and raised hogs and cattle. His family was one of hundreds forced to sell their land to the state at $50 an acre.
There was no negotiations with the government. At that time, they came in and they said, your land is worth this much. And they paid you. That was the end of the negotiations. But I still hate that it disrupted people all up and down the Sabine River because it was a very, very great place to be.
Today, the village of Ebarb, an unincorporated area near Zwolle, is home to a concentration of Choctaw Apache tribe members and their tribal headquarters. While attending the Sabine Free State Festival in Florine, I stayed at the historic Dover House, a 3-bedroom Airbnb that's more like a living museum that invites you to make yourself at home.
Welcome to the Dover House. Come on in, let me show you around.
Owner Louise Thaxton restored the home that once belonged to Florine businessman Joe Dover, who built it in 1920. His family photos, the home's original furnishings, floors, and fixtures connect me to Florine's past.
Joe Dover, he was in a lot of businesses, and he brought, gas to the parish. In fact, the Dover House was the first house in Sabine Parish to have gas run into the home. So he was very forward thinking. Those are the original doors, and many of these are original windows.
So the home is like a portal to life as it was for a well-to-do family over 100 years ago living in Sabine Parish.
Exactly.
Here's my takeaway from my time in Sabine Parish. This place defies every cliche about Louisiana. Its landscape looks unlike any other part of the state. Its world-class bass fishing unfolds on one of the nation's largest recreational lakes, and its cultural mix, Indigenous, Spanish, Anglo, and French, reveals a different Louisiana altogether, one worth experiencing, exploring, and remembering. Jefferson Parish is in southeastern Louisiana. Jefferson Parish was established in 1825 and named in honor of Thomas Jefferson, who played a role in the 1803 Louisiana Purchase. It's the international gateway to Louisiana, as home to the Louis Armstrong New Orleans International Airport. Kenner might just be one of the most overlooked stops near New Orleans, but its East Bank location along the Mississippi River has always made it a gateway, first for river trade, then for rail and highways, and today as the front door for many visitors arriving by plane. Historic Rivertown feels like Kenner's front porch, inviting you to stop, stay a while, and stroll around its walkable blocks. Home to museums, restored homes, local eateries, mom-and-pop shops, and even a planetarium with one of only 2 space station prototypes in the country. The Kenner Planetarium and Science Center invites visitors to step inside its NASA International Space Station prototype for an out-of-this-world experience that starts with a live view of the space station in orbit.
This is the one that was built in New Orleans East at the Michoud facility. And this cost them $1 million to make this, which was a small price to pay to try to get the job to build the space station. Unfortunately, this was one of the losing designs, but it's still special. The one that won was the Boeing company.
I tried on life in space, from the suit to an up-close look at the module airlock and the space station's hydroponic gardens, even the toilet with feet straps, all the realities of daily life in orbit.
So this module will represent more what kind of small places they live in. So, and of course they're not walking, they're floating from one place to another, so that's what these handrails are for.
The other side of the complex houses the Science Center and Planetarium, including a megadome cinema that hosts immersive laser light shows.
So we're the largest in the greater New Orleans area. We have a 50-foot dome with 118 seats. So we're second really only to Baton Rouge. So we're a very unique and local attraction.
West Wego proudly calls itself Gator Town, and you'll see it on murals and signs all around town. This place grew out of fishing and farming, and today it's where locals come when they want seafood as fresh as it gets, right here at the West Wego Shrimp Lot.
Hey everyone!
Hey, Karen. Hi Karen, West Wego and the West Wego Shrimp Lot.
This must be the family business.
Yes, so nice to meet you.
The family?
We're gonna take you on a tour around about here, and before you do, you just wanna be part of the crowd with a pair of shrimp boots.
Cut, I'll be back. Okay, I have my shrimp boots on. I'm ready to take a tour.
All right, you're ready to go.
Okay. Let's do it.
Ronnie Tomento started the West Wego Shrimp Lot back in 1979 with his father. Today, it's a true family operation run by Ronnie alongside his daughter Ann and his grandson Andrew. And many of these stands have been in the same families for generations.
These are hardworking people, and you almost have to be born in this business to succeed. The consumer benefits a lot of ways because they can save money. Most of the time the shrimp are 2-3 days old. You got a regular place, you're gonna find shrimp in there for months.
Seafood shopping here is a conversation. Vendors pop open their ice chest and say, hey, come take a look, while you get to choose shrimp straight off the boat, live crabs, oysters by the sack, even gator meat. On the surface, this seafood supermall looks basic. a gravel parking lot surrounded by tin roof stalls and hand-painted signs. But behind the scenes, there is a lot of smart infrastructure, keeping everything clean, safe, and environmentally responsible.
They actually created small ecosystems behind the stalls to retain the shrimp water dump site, basically whenever they have seafood or things like that, so it's not just throwing it back into Mother Earth, it's more of recycling it into the ecosystem.
I catch a whiff of smoked alligator sausage and follow my nose straight to Market Wego. They're known for their alligator sausage, crawfish sausage, boudin, and hot crackling. And once you smell it, you're already in line. From the shrimp lot, I head down historic Sala Avenue, which runs straight to the levee, where colorful murals cover the remains of the old West Wego canal locks. Folk artist Joshua Wingirter is behind the work, and his artistic imprint shows up all over town. Locals call him the creative catalyst of West Wego's art scene, and you'll usually find him right here in his gallery on Sala Avenue.
I'm with a pop art scientist. It's pretty edgy stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
For West Wego.
Yeah, I mean, I would say so, but that's the response that I usually look for when people come out and check out what we have going on. There's a bunch of emerging young people that have different small businesses, whether it be art or coffee shops or whatever the case may be, and I get to just be like another flavor in the neighborhood.
Joshua's gallery is pure eye candy, packed with pop art, painted objects, and layers of stenciled and spray-painted imagery. He'll paint on just about anything, from car parts to stormtroopers. I asked Joshua to paint his vision of LA64. Then I stood back and I watched as he brought it to life, stenciling the logo in bold purples and pinks and adding a paper airplane that captures the show's eat, shop, stay, play, and explore ethos.
Looks like we have a new LA64 logo, an original by Josh Wingirter. Well done.
Brilliant.
The creative genius.
I walk a few blocks down from the gallery to Salaville's original general store. Today, it's the West Wego Historical Museum, and it feels almost like it's still open for business, with shelves stocked the way they once were. This 1800s building is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. About 30 minutes south of Gretna, I'm greeted by a giant pirate ship sculpture welcoming me to the town of Jean Lafitte, named for the famous buccaneer. Pirate imagery pops up everywhere, and locals proudly call themselves Lafitians, embracing the folklore that helped put this town on the map. Scenes from Jean Lafitte's swashbuckling past come to life at the Jean Lafitte Visitor Center and Tourism Museum, where animated pirate puppet shows tell the tale.
Was the town of Jean Lafitte the home of this pirate, or the hiding place, or home and hiding place?
I would say it's both. It is a place where we feel like he actually, when he was on a boat, Bayou Barataria, he actually threw his treasures out. So we feel like along Bayou Barataria is where a lot of the treasure is. We were also told that he is buried in a cemetery in Lower Lafitte.
So this sounds like legend and lore and fact. Have we actually unearthed any of this treasure or his remains?
Not at this point. We're still searching.
Jean Lafitte is a young town, founded in 1974. The pirate himself didn't establish it, but his story became part of the town's identity, where pirate legend and coastal living meet.
We have generations of people, families that have stayed here. Our family and a lot of the residents here, their families have come from Manila Village, Clark Chenier, where there were dried shrimp platforms.
So you introduced yourself as a Lafitian. What does it mean to be a Lafitian?
It's just a proud person that loves Lafitte with all her heart. I just love it, like all of our residents do, and we won't leave from here. We're just going to keep fighting to make sure that it's a better community, better place to live, and just make it better for the next generation.
The water and the wetlands are the main attractions in Jean Lafitte. I'm taking you on the Jean Lafitte Nature Trace. It's a cypress boardwalk that runs through the swamps. There's also a trail for biking and walking along the levee. It was built by the town of Jean Lafitte, and it also leads to a wetlands education center.
Along the boardwalk winding through cypress, forest, and marsh, Jean Lafitte's story unfolds through interpretive signs, with a covered pavilion offering a quiet place to rest and reflect on this walk through history and Mother Nature. Jean Lafitte once moved through this maze of bayous and waterways tied to the Gulf, using the Barataria Bay as his home base. The marshes, bayous, and hidden inlets made it easy to slip in and out sight unseen. To retrace some of those swamp paths, I hop on an airboat with my captain, Shane Guidry, a Jean Lafitte native and 11th generation Cajun whose family has called this place home since 1765.
In Bayou Barataria, his crew, Jean Lafitte's crew, called the Baratarians. He and his brother Pierre did invade enemy British ships, but they preferred privateer or buccaneer, basically just a pirate that works for the government.
It's early November and a bright sunny day as we glide through the swamp, connecting to the intercoastal waterway. Gators swim up to the boat. It's a Bayou States version of a wildlife safari. My final stop is Grand Isle, the southernmost tip of Jefferson Parish and Louisiana's only inhabited barrier island. Highway 1 connects Grand Isle to the mainland, passing fishing camps and a sign proclaiming the home of the International Tarpon Rodeo, a tradition that's drawn anglers here since 1928.
The 90th Meridian West slices straight through Grand Isle all the way to the Gulf, and I'm standing right here on this line that marks the globe at 90 West Park in Grand Isle. This geographical line is where the land gives way to the water.
The island is also a prime spot for birdwatching. Hundreds of species use Grand Isle as a rest stop on the Mississippi Flyway, one of North America's major bird migration routes. Places like Lafitte Woods Nature Preserve foster the habitat that birds depend on during migration.
I am headed out on a hike here in Grand Isle with two guides today. I have Karen McKinney, she's an architect and a historian. I have Jean Landry, and she's a preservationist with the Nature Conservancy, and she's also a historian. She's a long-time resident of Grand Isle. So ladies, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's go take a hike.
At the entrance to the Grilletta Track, a birding checklist shows just how important this area is for songbird migration. Jean tells me that birders start arriving as early as mid-January. Spring and summer bring colorful plumes, while winter draws birders hoping to spot rare birds blown off course during migration.
Every year, it seems that we have a bird that is unusual for this area. So we must have had 500 visitors come 4 years ago when we had a red-legged honey creeper.
Grand Isle was mapped by the Spanish in the 1500s and settled in 1781. Its land divided into early grants that shaped life on this barrier island. Oak trees have kept it safe from countless storms throughout the centuries.
The live oaks are also an important facet of the historic preservation of buildings on the island. Some of the oldest structures that are now included on the National Register of Historic Places survived storms because they're within that tree line of the mature oaks that helps to both mitigate the tides coming in and break down the winds coming through, so the buildings are more likely to survive.
Grand Isle State Park feels like the edge of Louisiana, where the road ends and the Gulf begins. I walk a mile of beach with hardly another soul in sight. From above, the park's calm really comes into focus, showing how this stretch of coastline connects open water, marsh, and the people who come here to camp, fish, and enjoy serenity. In Kenner's historic Rivertown, I stayed at the Clancy House, named after longtime Sheriff Frank James Clancy, who built the home in the 1920s.
Hi, Karen. Welcome to the Clancy House. Come on in and make yourself at home.
This is so charming.
Thank you so much.
Andrea DePepe is the great-granddaughter of Sheriff Frank James Clancy. She restored the home as an overnight events venue. The property includes the main house, a carriage house, and an outbuilding.
This mural behind us it shows the immigrants, which Kenner was mostly Italian and Irish immigrants, and they were the lifeline to all of the produce that would go to the city of New Orleans.
The 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom home is part gathering place and part getaway. It claims to be Rivertown's only venue with an overnight option. For the original char-broiled oyster, head to Drago's in Metairie. Clara Civitanovic still runs the restaurant she opened with her husband Drago, a Croatian oyster fisherman, back in 1969. It was their son Tommy who created the now iconic char-broiled oyster.
And he is one who said, what would happen if we take open oyster, we put it on a grill, and we put on it our garlic butter sauce. Star was born.
Oysters doused in garlic butter hit the flames, igniting in a burst of fire that gives them Drago's signature char-broiled flavor, a dish often imitated but arguably never quite matched. In many ways, Jefferson Parish is a microcosm of Louisiana itself, less obvious at first glance, but essential to understanding the state. From river towns and seafood docks to wetlands and barrier islands, each stop reminds me that sometimes the most meaningful journeys happen just beyond the places that we think we already know.
Coming up this season on LA64.
In fact, there are some people that have told me that if you listen to traditional Cajun musicians along the bayou, down the bayou in Lafitte Parish, that they had their own dialect of Cajun music.
Hi, Karen. Welcome to Old Mel's Farm.
I gotta say that I have never seen a cow with long fur like this. I'm gonna make you pretty. The store actually has deep artistic connections. It's a shotgun house that was a former artist studio of George Rodrigue, the famed Blue Dog painter. He painted out of the shotgun house. Cette idée est très agréable.
You can come here and see what harvesting timber was like in the 1920s, 1930s.
Okay, Karen, so we made you fresh homemade cornbread, but we're gonna make you work for the butter to put on your cornbread, the old-fashioned way.
Now, you might be thinking, a cemetery, Karen, really, as a visitor's experience? But I want you to think of this more like a sculpture garden. It is filled with history and famous names.